welcome back to another Pilates session. As always, please listen to your body, work with it. Any health issues, any injuries, please choose any of the options I give, or if none of the options work, just either do your own modifications. If you're unsure, please skip that exercise out completely. So yes, please listen to your body, work with it, and try not to push yourself too far. Challenge yourself, but not pushing yourself too far. And if there is quite a bit of a tension in your lower back, try not to go too much into your back extension where the lower back arches too much. Even as we do the pelvic tilts, just keep that movement small so we're not going too far back. Okay, let's get started. So let's have our feet hip width, inside of feet parallel, and then start by lifting your toes. Lifting your toes and spreading your toes as wide as you can. Take a look down, maybe see the color of your mat between each toe. And then relax them back down. Soften the knees. Please make sure while we're doing any of the standing exercises, we're not locking our knees. Keep your knees safe. Lightly engage your hip muscles though, your glutes, and that'll keep the pressure away from your knees. We're lengthening up through the spine, reaching high without tensing the back. And let's mobilize our shoulders. So bringing our shoulders forward, let's lift them up, roll them back and relax them down. Just a couple more big but slow circles. Just keeping the shoulders slightly back and then down. One last one, and then keeping shoulders down away from ears, keeping them relaxed. Note also when I say slightly back, try not to go there. Just a gentle opening of our shoulders. With your chin lightly tucked in, so we're not letting the head drop down, we're not looking high up. Just lightly tuck in so we maintain that neutral through the neck as well. And then bringing our hands to hips. Let's come to Pilates breath. Let's breathe in through nose into our ribs, breathing out through the mouth. So inhaling through the nose. If you're unsure, you can rest your fingers on hip bone, your ribs. So resting your fingers on your ribs, middle fingers lightly touching. As we breathe in through nose, just feel those ribs expand, your fingers go apart, and then exhale out through mouth coming in. Breathing in through nose and breathing out through the mouth. Try and keep your shoulders relaxed. If this doesn't feel comfortable to begin with, please don't hold your breath at any point. Make sure you're breathing smoothly any way that feels comfortable. But we're keeping our breath in our ribs because we need to keep the core engaged. So try to bring the breath, keep the breath up in your ribs, okay? Coming to Pilates breath, and with your next exhalation, we're starting with pelvic tilts. So breathing out and tuck your tailbone under, flatten that lower back a bit. Then inhale through nose to come in. Exhale, hips back, increasing the curve through the lower back. Again to your point of bite. Inhale and in. Breathing out, tucking tailbone under, flatten the lower back a bit. Inhale, come in. Exhale, hips back, curve increases, back in. Just 2 more sets like this. We're just warming up our pelvis, our lower back muscles, our hips. So breathe out, tilt the pelvis, breathe in, come in, breathe out the other way. This time inhale into your neutral, just that gentle curve through the lumbar spine, without any tension through the back. We all have our own anatomy, we all have our own spinal structure. Just see what's right for you. My neutral probably is not your neutral, but saying that, make sure we're not exaggerating the curve or like flattening or pushing hips too far back. Just a gentle curve through the lower back. Arms relaxed by side, we're breathing out, and let's engage our core muscles to 30%. So tightening, imagining that hips to belt or just around your hip bones, tightening that belt just to that third knot, just a gentle contraction of your deeper abs, not pulling the belly button in. Please make sure to engage the core, we're not pulling the belly button. That will just get your outer, your superficial layer of your abdominal muscles engaged, not the core. Okay, keeping our core engaged, let's warm up our head and neck and our shoulder girdle, our arms and shoulders at the same time. So I'd like you to rest your left hand on your left hip. Take a breath in and take the right arm up. Relax your shoulder down. Then keeping your hips where they are, breathe out and take a gentle side bend towards the left. Now drop your eye gaze down towards the left foot. And notice the stretch along the right side of your neck. Let's keep the top shoulder back. Maybe taking another breath in, lift those right ribs just a bit more, and then breathe out, go just a bit further deeper into that side bend. Next in breath, come back up. Exhale and bring your right hand to hip. Inhale through nose, left arm high, shoulder down. Exhale, take a side bend towards the right and let your eye gaze drop down towards the right. Feel the stretch along the left side of your neck. Let's keep the top shoulder back. Take another breath in, maybe lift those left ribs a bit more. Lower body still and aligned. Exhale, going just a bit further with our left fingertips. And then breathing in and coming up. Breathing out, bring the hand down. We're adding in a little bit more neck work from here. So come again, inhale your right arm up, shoulder down. Exhale, take a side bend to the left. Check our hips don't press out. Eye gaze drops down towards the left. Top shoulder back. Now, only if your neck feels comfortable and your spine feels comfortable. Breathing in, turning your head and looking over the right shoulder a bit. Maybe reaching our right fingertips further to left. Next in breath, eye gaze ahead, come back up. Exhale, bring your right hand to hip. Breathing in, left arm high. Let's keep the core engaged all the way through. Shoulder down. Exhale, a side bend towards the right and drop the eye gaze down. Keep the top shoulder back. And then only if it feels right for you, turn the head and look over your left shoulder. Notice the stretch change in your neck. Reach your fingertips further to right if it feels right. And then next in breath, let's come up, eye gaze ahead. Exhale, lower both hands down. We're going to work our shoulder girdle a little bit more. So we're going to breathe in and let's open our arms wide. Spread your fingers wide. Let your shoulder blades come closer to each other without losing our neutral, without exaggerating that curve through the lumbar spine. Next out breath, take your arms overhead, keep your hands shoulder width and spread your fingers wide apart. Do relax the shoulders down. Then breathe out, press your palms forward and lower the arms down. Just once more like this. Inhale, open your arms wide. Exhale, shoulders down, shoulder blades closer to each other, staying in neutral. Cores engaged. Next out breath, arms high. Inhale, lengthen away through fingertips, but do drop the shoulders. Exhale, palms forward and lower arms down. Let's go into our legs. So we're focusing today on our glutes and our legs quite a bit. So lower body work happening. Okay, going into our squats from here. So I'll just turn to side to demonstrate, going a little bit into our different squats, not the squats you probably see in gym. We're going to keep our lower back quite safe. So we'll change the alignment slightly. Keeping our core engaged, keeping our feet hip width apart, we're going to breathe out through the mouth. Press your hips back as if you're going to sit back on a chair and then sink in your legs to your point of challenge. Now take a look down. Check your knees don't cross your toes. So keep the knees slightly further back than toes. Keep your knees safe. If the lower back is sinking, try tucking your tailbone under, as if you're flattening the lower back a bit, and that will take the pressure away from the lumbar spine. Shoulders relax. Now, if you're looking for a little bit more work in legs, lift your toes. Weight shifts to heels and notice how the work comes more into your thighs and hips. If you want even more, again, listen to your body. Breathe out, take your hips further back and down. Don't forget to breathe. Next out breath, press down through your heels, engage your glutes and rise up. Let's go again. Breathing out, hips back, and then sink in your legs. Check knees are behind toes, knees are hip width, and tuck your tailbone under. Now settle your eye gaze ahead down on the earth, so our chin lightly tucked in and back of neck open. Try not to look ahead, that will just tense your cervical spine, your neck. Maybe lift toes. Maybe we sink deeper in our legs, hips back and down with our breath. Next out breath, press down through heels and come up. We're doing 2 more like this. So when you're ready, breathing out, hips back, sink in your legs. Tuck your tailbone under, check your knees are behind toes, and then chin lightly tucks in so eye gaze goes slightly ahead down on the ground. Maybe toes lift. Maybe breathe out and come even lower in legs again. Work with your body. You've had a tiring morning, tiring day, stay a bit higher up. Exhale, press down through heels, engage glutes and rise. One last one. Breathing out, hips back, sink in legs. Breathing in through nose, tailbone tucks under, chin lightly tucks in. Aim to have a straight line from the crown of your head down to the tailbone. Maybe we lift our toes. Maybe hips further back and down. Keep the shoulders back. Next out breath, press down through heels, tighten those hip muscles more as we rise. Give your legs a gentle shake. Hopefully you felt that in your legs and hips. And time to open up our spine now. We're going into our roll downs from here. So we keep our feet hip width apart. Knees are soft. If hamstrings are quite tight normally, have a little bend in your knees. We want to keep those leg muscles out of the picture as much as possible. Focus from your tailbone up to the crown of head. Keeping core lightly engaged, arms relax. Let's breathe out. Tuck the chin lightly and start to round your spine, roll forwards and down. Let the head and neck go, let your arms go, and the moment your hamstrings kick in, they become a bit tight, or your quads start to engage, stop. That's a point of bind. And we're holding here for 2 to 3 more breaths. Just enjoy that stretch in your back. Our poor spine takes so much load pressure all through the day. Give a few moments for it to open and release. Next out breath, we're rolling up. One vertebrae on top of another. Floating crown of head, higher up in the end. Come back to your neutral. Take a breath in, make sure your core's engaged. Exhale, tuck the chin lightly. Start to round your spine, roll forwards and down, letting your arms go. And the moment you feel your leg muscles getting engaged, stop. As we hold here, of course keeping the core engaged, and check our hips don't press any further back. Arms are loose and heavy, we'll feel more stretch in the back. Feel your vertebrae starting to open. Then exhaling, rolling back up. Stay open through each vertebrae as we end up standing a bit taller in the end. Let's do just 2 more like this. Take a breath in, breathing out, chin tucks lightly, rounding and rolling forwards and down. Let the arms go, let them be loose and heavy. Soften those knees. And as we reach to our point of bind, let's hold. And again start to feel each vertebrae opening up, gravity doing its work. Keep the core engaged. Stay open through each vertebrae as we breathe out and stack back up. Finding your neutral, floating the upper back and then your head higher up in the end. One last one like this, breathing in. Breathing out, tuck the chin lightly first. Knees are soft, rounding and rolling forwards and down. Let the arms be loose and heavy. Keep your core engaged all the way through. As we reach to our point of bind, please check we're not letting our hips press back. We're not locking our knees, soften them. Inhale through nose, exhale out through mouth. And next out breath, we're stacking back up, rolling up. Again, standing up a bit taller in the end. Awesome. Let's work those legs a little bit more before we make our way down to earth. So bringing our hands to hips. Core engaged to either 30%, but as we're going into a little bit of a balance work, feel free to engage your core to 40%. So tightening that hips to pedal just a bit further. Try to bring your hip bones lightly closer towards each other. Okay, when you're ready, lift your right heel and shift the weight to your left foot. Press evenly around the left foot and engage your left hip muscles lightly. Exhale and step your right leg out to side. Now have your ankle and your hip in line. So please check foot isn't coming forward or going back. Keep your pelvis square to front. Keep the spine in neutral and lengthened without tensing. Let's breathe out. Lift the right leg up a bit. Inhale, lower. Now toes can touch down or hover above the earth. Exhale out through mouth, lift the leg. Inhale, lower. Nothing else moves in the body. The movement's coming right from your hip, your right hip, down to toes without bending the knee. Now if the body's moving, maybe engage your core muscles a little bit further. But if you have stability and you're looking for more, breathe out, take the leg just a bit higher. Breathe into lower. Keep the breath calm. And 2 more like this. You can stop now if you like. Last one. And then step in, give your left leg a little shake before we go to that left side, okay? So back to our feet hip width, spine in neutral, core engaged. Lift your left heel, shift the weight over to right foot. Press evenly around that foot and engage your glutes a bit. Keeping our spine lengthened, our shoulders down and relaxed. Breathe out, left leg goes out to side. Let's check. Our ankle and hip are in line, so keep the pelvis squared. With your next out breath, lift the leg up just a bit or a bit higher. Inhale, lower, toes can touch or hover. Exhale out through mouth, inhale through nose. Without bending the knee, lifting the leg up to our point of challenge. Upper body still, your right leg still, and your right hip muscles engaged, along with the core. Now if the body's moving, maybe we engage core further, but if we have stability, let's breathe out, take the leg a bit higher. Remember, you can touch your toes down. Remember, you can stop at any point you like. Relax your shoulders. 1 or 2 more, please. Last one. And step in, give both legs a good shake, and hopefully our glutes felt worked and our outer thighs. Let's take a seat, coming down to earth. And we're going into a bit of oblique work, working our waist muscles from here. Find any comfortable seated position you like. We can be cross-legged. If cross-legged doesn't feel right, you can have your legs forward, either with our knees a bit bent or legs extended fully. If there is tension in your back or the back feels rounded, so as you're seated, if you feel the back is like this, grab 1, maybe 2 cushions and sit towards the front edge of your cushion, and that will give you a better alignment through the spine. And of course, taking the pressure away from the back as well. Okay, so having both sit bones pressing down evenly. Once you find your position for your legs, let's make sure the lower body stays still. To find our seated neutral, hands to knees, slightly arch the spine, lift the tailbone, tuck the chin a bit. Now breathe in, lift and lengthen. We're looking for nearly flat, open back. Roll your shoulders back and down. Engaging core lightly now just to 30%. And we're bringing our fingertips together. Rest your index finger under your chin, your thumbs to chest, so have this contact with the body and fingers. Let the elbows drop down. Keeping this contact with body and fingers will make sure we're not leading the movement, starting the movement from head and neck or shoulders. We're aiming to move just from the waist. So keeping core engaged, keeping lower body still. Inhale through nose into ribs. Breathe out through mouth and twist to your right side from your waist. Inhale, lengthen through spine. Exhale, twist back more. Breathe in through nose and come back in. Breathing out through mouth to left. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Legs stay still. Exhale, twist back more. Inhale through nose, come in. Breathing out through mouth to right, shoulders down, elbows down. Exhale, go further with your twist. Make sure legs stay still. Inhale, come in. Exhaling to left. crown of head high. Next out breath, twist back more. Come back in as you inhale, 2 more sets like this. Breathing out to right. Breathing in to left. Breathing out, go further back. If legs are moving, engage core further. Inhale, come in. Exhale, left. Left, we move slowly with control. Exhale, further back. Breathe in and come back in, 1 last set. Twist to right as you exhale. Inhale, lengthen, check we're not leaning to side or back. Go further with the next out breath. Breathe in through nose, come back in. Breathing out through the mouth to left. Lengthen, and then go further. Once you've done equal numbers on both sides, coming back in, relax your arms. Let's come on all fours from here. So we're bringing our wrists under shoulders and our knees under hips. Now as we rest our palms flat down on earth, if it doesn't feel okay for your wrists or your shoulders, please feel free to come up on your knuckles. And then sliding our shoulder blades down into back. Lightly tuck your tailbone under, flatten your lower back a bit, and we're looking for a nearly flat, open spine. Lengthen spine. So keep reaching the crown of head away as you press your tailbone back a bit. Keeping our wrists and shoulders in line, we're going to breathe out and engage our core muscles just to 30%. Next out breath, extend one leg out and lift it up to hip height. Now as we lift the leg, it's quite possible that the lower back is sinking. So now we tuck the tailbone under again. If that hip is going higher than the other one, bring it back down, level your pelvis. Maintaining that alignment, we're bending the knee and flex the foot. Now, keeping the rest of the body completely still, engage those lifted hip muscles a bit. We're breathing out, press the foot up just a bit. Inhale, lower slightly to starting position. Exhale, press the foot up, breathe in lower. Not too high, where the lower back sinks. So stop the movement just till the hip. And keeping the spine still, keeping that resting leg and arm still. Neck in line with spine, your eye gaze lightly straight down, so we're not looking ahead or looking towards that resting knee. Let's do 3 to 4 more. Stay with Pilates breath and keep the core engaged. Start to notice where you're feeling the work. So moving with awareness, being mindful. Last one. Looking great. And then lower. Lengthen out the leg, toes touch, knee in. Let's switch sides. So keeping the tailbone tucked under, breathe out, other side. Other leg lengthens and lifts. Square your pelvis, bring that hip down. Bend the knee, flex your foot. And if the lower back is sinking, tuck your tailbone under. Keeping our pelvis squared, exhale, press the foot up. Inhale, lower a bit. Exhale out through the mouth. Inhale, lower. It's a small movement, so not a very, very big one, but quite effective to work your glutes and your hamstrings. Let's make sure the rest of the body stays still. Any movement anywhere else in the body, maybe engaging our core muscles a bit further, and check the movement is slow and controlled with the breath. So we're breathing out to press the foot up a bit, inhale, lower slightly. And 2 to 3 more. If you like, you can stop now. Shoulders stay back, away from ears. Last one. Keep breathing. And then lengthen the leg, toes touch, knee in. Awesome, let's take a quick breather. Take your hips to heels. Let your arms wrap around the body. And take a few deep breaths here into your back and hips. Exhale and let go. And then staying in child's pose, we're taking our arms overhead. Wrist shoulder width. Walk your fingertips away
Let your hips press back. Stretch and open all the way through the upper body. Next exhalation, tucking tailbone under, we're rolling up through the spine, one bone on top of another. Let's stretch our spine forwards and then we're going to make our way over to one side. So we're going to stretch our spine forwards and at the same time open up through our hips as well. Let's bring the soles of our feet together. Let the knees drop out and have a big gap between your heels and hips, enough to accommodate your spine in. Hands resting to shins lightly. Come to your seated neutral, nearly flat open back and rolling our shoulders back and down. Lightly engage your core just to 30%. As we breathe out through mouth, lightly tuck the chin, so not letting the chin drop. Just a gentle tuck in to start that curve through the neck, and then rounding and rolling forwards and down, as if we're aiming crown of head towards our heels. Just go to your point of bind, not pushing ourselves too far. As we reach to a point of challenge, soften your shoulders back, bend your elbows. If our hands are on our feet or our legs, lighten your fingertips, or maybe rest your hands down on earth. As we hold here, maybe letting our knees open out and down. And then just breathe, keep the core engaged, notice the stretch. Next out breath, let's roll up, stacking one bone on top of another. Floating crown of head higher up in the end. Take a breath in at the top, exhaling, tuck the chin lightly. Start to round your spine, roll forwards and down. Again, as if you're aiming crown of head towards your heels. We can be quite higher up, that's perfectly fine, wherever you feel the stretch. Keep the chin lightly tucked, keep the core engaged. And only if it feels right, let the knees open out and down. Shoulders are back. And start to notice your vertebrae opening now. Breathing in through nose, out through the mouth. Next out breath, let's stack up. Stay open through each vertebrae as you roll up. End up sitting taller in the end. Just one more like this. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the chin in a bit. Rounding and rolling forwards and down. Just to your point of bind. Shoulders soften. Soften your grip on your feet or legs or relax your hands down. And then breathing out, rolling back up. Aim to sit up taller. Great. Lift the knees. Let's make our way over onto one side and we're going to work our lower body a bit more, our legs and our glutes. So lying on one side, have your lower arm overhead with palm facing up. Legs extended out and stacking one foot on top of another. Now, as you rest the head down on the arm, if you feel the head is sinking quite a bit or doesn't feel comfortable, again, grab a cushion or a block, if you have a thin block, and just rest your head on that. So your neck stays in line with the rest of the spine. And your lower arm that's extended overhead, please have your palm facing up. If the palm's facing down, even if we don't realize, we end up pressing down through palm and using that to balance the body. We want to rely just on our core for balance, so have the palm facing down. Then take a look down, check you can see your toes. At any point, try not to let your feet disappear behind. That will increase the curve through the lower back and put pressure there. So either with our ankles in line with hips or maybe feet slightly forward, still better. Then press your top hip away. So this gentle little tilt and notice your lower waist lifting. That's a sideline neutral. That'll help and keep your hips stacked as well. Our top hand can rest in front, lightly on our fingertips, and your hand may be in line with your lower ribs or belly button, not high up. Just notice what happens as you move the hand up, our shoulder tenses, so keep your hand down. Or
Once we get started or we are balanced to begin with, we can have our hand to side as well. Engage your core lightly to 30% for this one. As we breathe out through the mouth, lift the top leg up and let your foot relax. So keeping the foot relaxed from your hip now, exhale and lift the leg up to your point of challenge. Inhale, lower the leg back to hip height. Foot stays relaxed. Breathing out through mouth, leg lifts. Breathing in through nose, just to hip height. Rest of the body stays completely still and our hips are stacked. Now if the body is moving, engage your core a little bit further, maybe go to 40%. If your hand is in front and your body is stable, try peeling a couple of fingers away or more. Keep challenging your core. Let's do 2 to 3 more. Breathing out through mouth to lift. Inhale through nose to lower. Maintain your neutral all the way through. Keep that top hip rest away. You can stop now, foot still relaxed, or one last one. And then relax the leg down, bend the top knee. If you felt any work in your hips, just a little tap. Just release those muscles, get them ready for the next move. Maybe a bit of a massage to the outer thigh. Let's lengthen both legs again. Press the top hip away. Feel that little lift through the low waist. And again, choose your option with the hand. Either fingertips resting in front or hand to hip. We're breathing out, starting again with just 30% core engagement, and let's go into our single leg circles. When you're ready, exhale, lift the top leg up, lightly point your toes. Again, the movement starts from the hip to your toes and everything else still. When you're ready, exhale, let's start to circle that lifted leg slowly. Small circles to begin with. Stay with Pilates breath. Again, if the hand's in front, you're feeling stable, maybe peel a couple of fingers away. And if you're still balanced, you can bring the hand to hip. So just gradually progressing. If the body still, hand is to hip, we can increase the size of our circles. Start to feel those hip muscles working. One more this way. And then breathing out, let's circle the leg opposite way. Slow circles. Small or big, see how you feel, see how stable the body is. And 2 more circles. Last one, and relax the top leg down again if you like, a little tap to the glutes, beautiful massage to the outer thigh as well. We're lengthening out our legs, letting the top hip rest away. And let's move into beautiful balance work. So we're going into torpedo from here. Engaging our core muscles to 40% for this one. We all start with our fingertips resting in front. Keeping the top hip rest away. When you're ready, breathe out through mouth. Lift the top leg up. Bottom leg joints in. Let's flex our feet. So curl your toes towards face as you press the heels away. Now, once the body is stable, maybe peel a few fingers away. If you're stable, bring arm by side. And if you wish to go even further, only once your whole body is still, we can take the top arm overhead, have it in line with the air. So check shoulder isn't rolling forward. And then to go even further, breathe out, take your legs a bit higher. Hold for 2 more breaths. 2 more in breaths, 2 more out breaths. Staying still. Still staying in our neutral, that top hip is pressed away. Then exhale, lower your legs down and bring your fingertips to front. Press the top hip away, breathing out, top leg to hip height, bottom leg joints in. Flex your feet, curl your toes in. Squeeze your inner thigh muscles towards each other. Maybe we peel a couple of fingers away. If we're balanced, arm by side. And then maybe taking arm overhead. Maybe taking legs a bit higher without losing neutral. And breathe. 1 more in breath. Exhale, lower your legs, bend both knees. And we're setting up for climb. One of the most effective exercises, Pilates exercise for our outer thigh muscles and our hip muscles. But let's make sure we stay aligned and isolate the movement just in the top leg and hip without letting the hip roll back. So we bring our knees forward, have your hips and shoulders in line, then take your feet slightly back, making sure our feet don't cross our hips. Again, that will put pressure through the lower back. Top hip goes away a bit, so little tilt, press the top hip away and rest your top hand to your top hip. We're using our hand as a guide for our hip alignment. Now let's take our feet away from the ground. Keep your knees down. Core engages lightly to 30% to begin with. With our next exhalation, let's open the top knee, keeping toes together. Inhale through nose and lower the knee down. Breathing out through mouth, open the knee, check your hips are stacked. Inhale to lower. So exhale, lift the knee only as high with top hip doesn't roll back. Inhale, lower down. If the upper body stays still, excuse me, and this movement feels comfortable, go a bit further. Breathe out, lift the top leg up so knee comes in line with hip and then open the knee. Inhale to lower down. Exhale, lift, open, inhale, lower. So our first option, toes stay together, knee opens. Inhale, lower. Second option, if the body's still, lift the top leg up, then open the knee. Just two more. Breathing out through mouth, breathing in through nose. Last one. And lower your feet. Give your glutes a little tap, bit of massage to the outer thigh. Let's stretch our thigh muscles, our quads from here. So lengthen out your lower leg and hold on to top foot with your hand. Bring the heel towards the hip and relax the knee. Lower down to that lower leg. Maybe it's floating, maybe all the way down, doesn't matter, just wherever you feel the stretch. But if the knee is resting down on the lower leg and you're looking for more stretch, tuck your tailbone under, flatten your lower back, then try and press the hips forward a bit. Again, gradually progressing, listen to your body. Let go, let's lift up and flip the body to other side. So let's lie on our sides. Taking the lower arm overhead and palm facing up. As we extend our legs, take a look down, check you can see your toes. And then press the top hip away a bit. So feel that little lift through the lower waist, our sideline neutral. Top hand can rest in front, fingertips lightly. Try not to press down through the hand. Again, rely on your core for balance. Fingertips lightly resting, or if you're normally balanced, bring your hand to hip. When you're ready, breathing out through mouth. Core engaged, lift the top leg up and then relax the foot. Inhale. Exhale out through mouth and lift the leg high up to your point of bite. Breathe in, lower down just to hip height. Exhale out through the mouth. Inhale through nose. Isolate the movement just in that top leg. Everything else in the body stays still. Try to keep that foot relaxed. The more we keep our foot relaxed, faster we're going to feel the work in our hip and outer thigh. And just two more like this. Exhaling out through the mouth. Inhaling through the nose. If the body's moving, tighten those core muscles further. And then relax the leg down. If you felt any work in your glutes, bend the knee. Maybe just a little tap. Maybe a bit of a massage to the outer thigh. Let's lengthen those legs. Press the top hip away. And we're setting up for our sideline leg circle. So if the hand's resting in front, let's stay light on our fingertips. Hand in line with lower ribs or belly button. Or maybe hand to hip. Keeping the core engaged, we're breathing out, top leg lifts to hip height. Lightly point your toes this time. Next out breath from the hip joints, let's start to circle that leg. Slow, small circles to begin with. Inhaling through nose, Exhaling out through the mouth. Keeping the upper body still and the lower leg still. If there's any movement through the upper body, tighten your core further and stay with smaller circles. Once we are stable, maybe increase the size of your circles. Just do 2 more this way. And then breathing out, start to circle the other way. We're moving from the hip, check we're not bending at the knee. Remember to keep the core engaged. And 2 more. Hopefully you're feeling it in your hip muscles now and the outer thigh. Relax your leg down, bend the top knee, give those glutes a good tap. Beautiful massage to the outer thigh, and we're setting up for our balance work for torpedo. So as we extend both legs, press the top hip away a bit. Find your neutral again, that little lift through the lower waist, or just that feeling of that lift. And we all start with our fingertips resting in front. Core engages to 40%. We're breathing out through mouth, top leg to hip height, bottom leg joints in. Flex your feet, curl your toes in, press your heels away. Feel the length in the back of your legs. Now keeping the body still, and if the body's still, peel a couple of fingers away, maybe more. If you're stable, bring the arm by side. And if the body stays still, we can take that top arm overhead in line with the air. Maybe go even further. Exhale, lift both legs higher without losing that neutral. We've still got that lift through the lower waist. Hold for 2 more breaths, staying still, keeping hips stacked. So check top hip doesn't roll back. And then exhale, lower your legs. Bring fingertips to front, just 1 more like this. Breathing out, top leg to hip height. Bottom leg joints in, flex your feet. Squeeze your inner thigh muscles towards each other. So we're engaging all the leg muscles here. Maybe peel a few fingers away, maybe arm by side. Or maybe taking that top arm overhead in line with the air. Once we're stable, you want more, lift the legs higher without moving the upper body. Breathe into ribs so core stays engaged. And then exhale, lower your legs, fingertips to front. We're bending both knees now for clam. So hips and shoulders in line. Bring the knees forward and take your feet back a bit. Check our feet don't cross our hips. Top hand resting on top hip. Press the top hip away again and lift your feet away from the ground. Start with just 30% core engagement for this one. As we breathe out through the mouth, open the top knee, keep your hips stacked. Inhale through nose to lower. Exhaling out through the mouth, breathing in through nose. Upper body still, check top hip doesn't roll back. And if this option feels quite comfortable, let's go a little bit further. We're breathing out, lift the top leg up, open your top knee. Inhale, lower the leg. So exhale, lift the knee in line with hip and then open. Check your hips are still stacked. Breathe in, lower, 3 more. Exhale. Inhale. 2 more. Keep breathing. Keep the core engaged. Remember to engage the core more if upper body moves. And then relax your feet down. Give your glutes a little tap, beautiful massage to the outer thigh. Let's stretch our quads, our left thigh muscles, so lengthen out the lower leg. Hold on to top foot and bring the heel towards the hip. Let the knee relax down. If the knee's all the way down to the lower leg and you're looking for more stretch, tuck your tailbone under and press your hips forward. Then maybe taking the knee just a bit further back. But again, listening to our body, progressing gradually, slowly. Awesome, letting go. Let's roll over onto our backs as we stretch our hamstrings and our hip muscles. So lie on your back and bring your right knee in towards the chest. Hug the knee in and then extend the leg up. Hands can stay to the back of thigh and knee a bit bent, especially if hamstrings feel quite tight. Again, not pushing ourselves too far in our stretches either. But if hamstrings are open, you can take your hands up to calf. Anywhere we rest our hands, avoiding back of knee, so make sure we're not holding at the back of knee. Then press the top heel up. Flex your foot, adding in a calf stretch. See if we can soften our shoulders a bit. Just breathing up into the stretch, exhaling and softening the tight muscles. And then let's stretch our outer thigh muscles, our abductors. We've worked them quite a bit today. So with your opposite hand, your left hand, hold on to the lifted leg. Again, anywhere you like, except for the back of knee. Take the leg across the body diagonally just a bit. So we're not taking it low, just a bit. Just enough to feel the stretch in outer thigh, and try to keep that right hip low. And then release the foot, your right foot just above the left knee, making sure our foot is flexed. So curl the toes towards the knee, keep your knee safe. Thread your right arm through that little window and then lace your fingers behind the left thigh. Let the left foot relax. Now bring that left leg closer towards the body as we stretch our right hip muscles. If you're feeling good stretch here, stay here. If you want more, with your right hand, gently press the right knee away. With the left hand, bring the left leg closer in. Breathe into your stretch. Exhale, use your exhalations to soften those tight muscles. Let's switch sides. Land the right foot down, take your left leg up. Lengthen the leg to your point of bite, so maybe a bit of a bend in the knee if hamstrings are quite tight. If hamstrings feel open, you can take your hands up to calf, not the back of knee, keep your knee safe. Press the heel up, adding in a bit of a calf stretch, and soften those shoulders again. Let's stretch our outer thigh muscles, so hold that lifted leg with the opposite hand, avoiding back of knee. Take the leg just a bit across the body. Try to keep that left hip low, and you'll feel more stretch in your outer thigh, your abductors. And then release the foot just above your right knee, your opposite knee, making sure again your foot is flexed. Protect your knee. Weave your arms through, lace your fingers behind the right thigh, and bring the leg in towards the body to stretch left hip muscles. To intensify the stretch, only if you like, with the left hand gently press the left knee away. With the right hand, bring that right leg closer in. And release. Hug your knees to heart. Rock gently side to side. We're landing our feet down one after another. Roll over to your sides and come up to seated. And let's stretch our upper back, so we're rounding our arms and lacing our fingers. Imagine holding a big beach ball between your arms. Drop your shoulders down, tuck the chin in a bit. And then keep taking your arms away from the body till you feel a good stretch around your upper back and shoulders. And relax your hands to knees. Let's take a breath in, our shoulders forward, up and back. Exhale and drop them down. Any tension in your shoulders, slowly lower them down. Let's go once more, breathing in, up and back. Exhale and drop. Your right ear to the right shoulder. Left fingertips out on mat. Stay lifted through the spine. Left fingertips out, and then with the right hand, if you want more, gently press the head down. And coming up, we switch sides, left ear to left shoulder, right hand out. Stay lengthened. For more stretch, with the left hand, gently press the head down. And thank you very much all. Have a lovely